Why is former President Trump questioning the vice president's racial identity?
In Chicago, he was responding to a question. Like, this is really a phony controversy. I don't really care. Most people don't. But if we're going to be accurate, it was AP that said she was the first Indian American when she came into the Senate. Now she's running nationally. The campaign has shifted. They're talking much more about her father's heritage and her black identity. It doesn't really matter. The president mentioned it. What he also talks about far more frequently is the fact that Kamala Harris is the person who created this massive inflation. It's her failure, our southern border wide open, more than 10 million illegal immigrants coming into our country, record fentanyl coming into our country, which has killed more Americans than at any other point in the history of our country with respect specifically to fentanyl. And the fact that she and Joe Biden have unleashed one of the worst foreign policies in the history of our country that has us on the verge of World War III. That is Kamala Harris's record.
And you just repeated the slur again. If it doesn't matter, why do you all keep questioning her identity?
But again, that's a side issue, not the main issue.
You just did it again. Why do you insist on questioning her racial identity?
You want me to talk?
I want you to answer my question.
George, now that you're done yelling at me, let me answer. He talked about it on the stage yesterday in Atlanta for 2 minutes? He spent more than 35, 40 minutes going after her record. He talked about the job that she did as vice president, which has been a failure for the American people. I know you guys like to glom on to this that he talks about, but what you do not cover is the litany of failures of Kamala Harris. That's what you're not covering.
So questioning somebody's racial identity for a couple minutes is okay?
George, I'm going to tell you again, AP is the one that wrote the headline when she first came in to the United States Senate. Didn't talk about her being black, talked about her being the first Indian American senator. AP brought that up. I mean, George, we could have this conversation for the entire segment, but none of this matters to the American people. What matters to the American people is, are we going to have the same policies of the Biden-Harris administration that has been destructive of the American people, or are we going to have the policies of the Trump administration, which put America first, and that's what matters more than anything else?
If it doesn't matter, I don't understand why you keep on repeating it. And
George, actually, I'm not the one who keeps repeating it. George, you're the one that's bringing it up now. And I want to get off this topic because it's not the only thing that's going on. But George, now you're saying that AP is the one that slurred Kamala Harris, because those are the facts. I prefer to talk about the future of our country because the American people are struggling. The American people do need serious policy decisions to be made, and they need serious leadership on the world stage. Kamala Harris has not proven that she can do that. Donald J. Trump has proven that he can do that.